Assalamu alaikum and welcome to The Narrative with this special bulletin report. We're going to be discussing with Imam Asad Zaman, who has represented Muslims on the media, Sky News, BBC, frequently. And we're going to be discussing a motion which is being passed through Parliament to talk about whether animals should be stunned or not stunned before slaughtering, which is a matter which affects Muslims and Jewish communities alike very much so. So, Imam Asad, the main question is to stun or not to stun. Can you please talk about this?
To stun or not to stun, that is the question. Now, whether you're an animal welfare organization or you belong to the Muslim faith or Jewish faith, you are very much concerned about the manner in which that animal is killed, to make sure that it is killed in the most humane way, and that of course means to minimize pain. That is the whole point of in fact, that is the main reason why so many people are against non-stunned, because they think that by stunning you reduce the pain, and by not stunning you are increasing the pain.
Okay, so let's talk about the humanity behind the killing of an animal from a religious perspective, please.
Both Muslims and Jews, like anybody else, believe that killing animals is wrong. But we also believe that our Creator has given us permission to consume some animals. But in order to consume them, we have to make sure certain conditions are fulfilled. And what animal rights organizations are concerned about is what we are concerned about, what the creator of that animal is concerned about, to make sure that if we are going to consume it, we consume it in a manner that brings about minimum pain for that animal. And at the same time, once the animal is dead, that meat is hygienic for us to eat. And we firmly believe, and there is scientific backing for this, that the Halal or Shakita method is the most humane method, and at the same time it gives us the most hygienic form of meat for us to consume.
So what is the main debate in Parliament? What are the main issues we're looking at here?
So the debate that is consuming the Parliament at the moment, or will be soon, is whether to allow non-stunned slaughter or to force all animals in Muslim or Jewish slaughterhouses to be stunned. That is really what the debate is about. So we need to look at both these methods. Whether stunning an animal before slaughtering it is more humane and the food is more hygienic for us to eat, or whether to not to stun it is more humane and hygienic for us to eat.
So can you walk us through the process of slaughtering an animal using methods of non-stunning, please?
In non-stunned or stunned slaughter, a razor-sharp surgical knife is used. Once that cut is made, and it must cut through, right through to the jugular vein, in 1.5 very quick strokes. Imagine, we're talking about less than a second here. And let's examine what happens in terms of pain. We've all had paper cuts. A paper cut will take a few seconds at the very least before we start to experience pain. And that is what happens with the animal because the knife is so sharp and is done so quickly. But immediately after having made that initial cut, the jugular vein is cut immediately. Once that is cut, the blood starts flowing and the blood pressure going to the brain immediately reduces, resulting in unconsciousness for that animal, and therefore it experiences no pain. This whole process we are talking about perhaps a second or so. So you can see that there is little or zero pain inflicted on the animal by this non-stunned method. A signal from the brain goes to the heart saying, I'm not getting the blood that I need, start pumping faster. As a result of that, the heart increases its rate and forces the blood out of the body, drains it at a maximum pace, bringing a very quick and speedy and painless death to that animal. That is humane and also very hygienic. Why? Why hygienic? Because we don't know whether that animal was suffering from some disease or illness. And viruses are flowing in the blood. By draining the blood of that animal, we are eliminating the harmful, potentially harmful elements within that animal for us in terms of hygiene is concerned.
Okay, so let's go on to the alternate method, which is stunning. Can you walk us through that now?
The stun method, okay, which is used for the majority of food in this country. And even halal food, unfortunately, 88% of it is actually stunned, which would be quite surprising to a lot of Muslims in actual fact. Now, when you stun an animal, obviously the intention is to reduce pain. But let's see if that actually is the case in all stunned animals. There are three outcomes to stunning. You can understun, you can stun to the correct amount, or you can overstun. Let's look at each of these and see what happens. If you understun an animal, then you are causing it enormous pain, just as most of us have had the experience of touching perhaps the mains, or we are unplugging a plug and our fingers get affected by an electric current, and it hurts us. It goes right through our body and we don't forget it very soon. It takes a while for us to forget that pain. And that is what you can inflict upon an animal. If you understand it, you just inflict pain. It doesn't become unconscious, and therefore it is an inhumane method of wanting to kill that animal. The second thing, of course, is that you stun it correctly, which is fine. If you stun it correctly, then you knock out that animal. It becomes unconscious. But if you were to leave it for a while, it becomes conscious again. From an Islamic point of view, that would be absolutely fine if you were to slaughter that animal in that unconscious state. Because the Quran makes it very clear that even if an animal is on the verge of death and you are able to slaughter it correctly, then it is halal for you to eat. That may not be the case with shakita.
Now, the third outcome of stunning can be to overstun, which means you end up killing the animal prior to slaughtering, rendering it impermissible for consumption.
So that is the problem with stunning. It is not an exact science, and as a result of that, you can very easily either cause it enormous pain prior to slaughter, or you can kill it, which makes it impermissible to eat anyway. From a Muslim perspective, a method was found that could just stun the animal so that it just became unconscious enough so that by leaving it, it becomes conscious again. Then that, from a Muslim perspective, would be fine. But every animal is different, and you would not be able to find the correct current to stun that animal so that you produce the desired result. You are always going to end up understunning some animals and overstunning others. And in fact, we are talking about millions of animals who will be either understunned or overstunned. That is our main problem with the stunning process. It is inhumane and inflicts, in many cases, more pain than the unstunned method.
So what practical steps can you recommend for the general public who are concerned about this issue?
I don't know why all animals, bearing in mind that this method of slaughter, unstunned, halal method, shakita method, because it is the most humane, I don't know why everybody doesn't do it. Therefore, whoever you are, of faith, no faith, lobby your MP and make it clear to them that we should at least have the choice to eat stunned or non-stunned. We should, the Stunning should not be imposed upon those who find it objectionable. Sign the petition which has been formed to force Parliament to take this matter into consideration.
Okay folks, so that's everything. We've discussed stunning, non-stunning, and we have concluded that to not stun is the more hygienic and more humane method of use. So what we need to do, as the Imam mentioned, is we need to get on board with this petition. We'll have links to it in the description box, and also there should be a link over here. So that's all from us here at The Narrative. Jazakumul khairan. Assalamu alaikum.